Hey ladies and gents, this is Izduliz here with a review of the Cosmic Legion's Tusk Science Officer. Now, I'm not sure that's exactly how you pronounce it because it's actually TU5CC Science Officer. So maybe TU5CC Science Officer? Anyway, here is the box. And it's got that holographic projection. I think those are actual digital renderings by Eric Treadway, and then Nate Barch put them on there. And then here we have the bio, where it says Tusk Science Officer, and it's got that really cool new font. And then he's here with that alternate head, looking at a holographic projection and pointing towards the faction or affiliation symbol, which I'm guessing we'll find out more as we read the bio. The bio says, "The labs hidden deep within the walls of Havalkatar are home to a number of intriguing yet often nefarious projects. Although many successful experiments have been born amongst these sterilized chambers, the most profitable and prolific is the development of and manufacturing of Thrixium. Tasks with guarding the elusive scientists, doctors, and lab technicians are the Tusk Science Officers. Possessing a fundamental knowledge of science and medicine not only prepares these officers to defend the labs and their inhabitants, but it also allows them to assist in the day-to-day work of maintaining the labs and assisting on projects when deemed necessary." So in addition to being a prison, I guess there are also all sorts of strange and nefarious experiments going on, and these are the guys that help with those experiments. So here he is, the Tusk Science Officer, looking every bit like a space marine or a robot. As you can see, this is one of two alternate heads, the other being this alien head that come in this package. And we're getting a lot of bang for the buck because these are Legion Builder figures. It's kind of like Mythic Legions had its Legion Builders. Cosmic Legions also has its Legion Builders with more minimal paint apps so that they come in at a much lower price, because every time somebody has to go in and paint something on the figure, it costs more. And I love this idea. This is, I don't know if the light shows this, but it's got a sort of pearlescent finish to it. So it's not just a white figure. It's shiny, a little bit of metallic to it, and it looks like, a sleekly designed sort of Space Marine type Legion Builder form. And this format, I think, is going to be really popular and really good for customizing and painting. And it's sort of gives off a Stormtrooper vibe because it's ready for battle. It's armed for bear, space moose, whatever kind of animal it might encounter, or being, or alien. And it's just really, really cool. You can see here on the back, looks like a sort of jetpack. They look like jets coming out. So I assume that this has the capability to fly somewhat, or I don't know what else that would serve for, but that's what I'm thinking. And there's all kinds of neat, handy dandy ports on the belt, the utility belt. Who doesn't love a really detailed utility belt with all, Batman style, with all sorts of little pouches so you can put all your things in. And then this is also removable here. It's a shiny metallic chest emblem. Not sure what sort of function it would serve, but obviously you're going to be able to pop and swap these as well. That's the fun of Legion Builders: customizing, popping and swapping, creating your own unique characters, and just filling out your universe at a much cheaper price. Let me show you some of his armaments. That's a really, really cool looking space rifle right there. Just a basic silver, but really classy looking. And he's got the alternate hand so that his trigger finger's in the right place. He's got 3 fingers, not 4 like Thygar. But that's cool because I love those little alien touches. He also comes with the aforementioned, if you saw the other reviews, pegs to allow his pistols to plug into the belt. And then when you don't have them in the belt, you can just take the little peg out. And those little pegs come in 2 different sizes, small and large, depending on what sort of armament you want to plug in. That plug would obviously work here. You could plug it in, that rifle, into the back of the belt. Or if for some reason you want to take off, let's do that later. You want to take these off, then there would be further ports for you to plug in. What's interesting about this is that you have this really cool dome here, and then it looks like some sort of mechanics down there. So you can't tell if it's a biomechanical being, a cyborg, an alien that has just this really, really cool high-tech helmet with all of these details, very streamlined. I like the Cyclops look. Back in the day when Eric was working on Power Lords, he designed some soldiers that had kind of a Cyclops warrior look, but they never got made, unfortunately. But that means that now with Cosmic Legions, we get all of these cool ideas that Eric can explore outer space, you know, for the very first time. And because the Power Lords line, I think, was highly influential. Wayne Barlow was highly influential to a young Eric Treadaway. And so I think we're going to see some touches or some influences from the Power Lords line. A lot of people have talked about how Thygar has that blue and orange sort of color scheme that Adam Power had in the Power Lords line. So I love that Cyclops, that we finally get these space warriors with these Cyclops helmets, because, like I said, those never came to fruition earlier, and now we get to have that part of Eric's vision. The other thing is that this clear shield comes off. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but if you want to display it without the shield, there's that look as well. I personally like the shield myself. And the other thing is, then we also have the alternate alien head. So this guy, and he's got a very, very cool alien look to him. And I think fitting for a science officer, he's got eyes on the sides of his head. So you would think that he's not a predator, because predators usually have their eyes facing forward, and that he would be a more scientific race, or scientifically minded race. But then at the same time, that gets the imagination wondering, are these scientists part of a nefarious plan involving this drug? Or, are they doing mind control experiments? Or are they being forced to do it against their will? Or are they just part of this sort of evil empire? My feeling is if you're doing experiments with prisoners at a prison, and there's bioengineering involved, then the science officers would probably be evil. But this guy, I don't know, he has kind of a noble and intelligent look on his face. You look at his face, and it looks like there's vestigial eyes in the front. So maybe he evolved and they migrated to the sides. But you could see how that's somewhat reminiscent of the helmet, where maybe somebody with that shape of head could either fit that helmet, or would design a helmet that has that sort of a little bit of a praying mantis or alien type shape, because that would be, you know, equivalent to their, I guess, being a humanoid. We also get this for, these are generally used to put the clear bubble helmets on, but this guy doesn't come with a bubble helmet. He comes with this clear piece, but not with a clear bubble helmet piece. But still, that's an alternate look there, something that you can switch in or switch out, and I think looks really, really cool. The other thing that he has is this translucent blue skull, and it looks like a let's see if you can see that. Hopefully that's focusing in. A Havalkatar skull, kind of like the one that we got with the All-In. And so it's not a regular human skull, it's an alien skull, and maybe he's talking to one of his superiors or something. And that pops right into the wrist port. So he's got, oops, sorry about that. It's twisted in. So you can watch that there, and maybe it's sort of a high and futuristic wrist communicator, right? So, and there they are talking to each other, cool, discussing either how the experiments have gone or what they're going to do next. So it's a science officer, but of course, you know, he is very, very capable. Here he has his shooting hand and another hand. He comes with 4 hands of bearing arms at the same time. He's not someone who is averse to doing that. People have been asking for humans in the line, and I don't think that's been part of the vision so far. I don't know if it ever will be. I like humanoids. I don't necessarily mind there not being humans, but of course, people want space marines. So I'm just going to show you what that looks like. Here's a Magnus head, the most interesting man in the Mythic Legions universe, who puts that chump Chuck Norris to shame. And I'm just going to pop that on there, and voila, Space Marine, right? You can take him into space and continue his adventures there. Now, we don't know if there is any link between Cosmic Legions and Mythic Legions, other than, they're the sandbox that the 4 Horsemen have created for us to play in, to customize in, to enjoy. But hey, if you want, knock yourself out and mix and match with Mythic Legions parts. You can snap some of the, you can take the arms off, the legs off, and do anything that you could do with a normal Mythic Legions figure, and you can do the same with the Cosmic Legions figure. So here we go with this alien head. He's not, that head is not on him in the package. It's more of the robotic head, but the accessories that we have separately is the robotic head with the clear plastic shield, right? I suppose you can even put that backwards and it would also look like a robot. So we've got that. We've got 2 sidearms. We have the rifle, and we have 4 of those sort of ubiquitous plastic ports to hold in. And we have the skull translucent hologram. And then we have the alternate neck piece or collar. And then a couple of extra hands so that he can either hold a staff or a weapon or a chart or a gun or whatever, and then with the trigger finger at the ready. One more thing in the insert here, Nate Bartsch drew up a scene that's different from the earlier scene. The earlier scene was a cell. So it was kind of drab and dreary, but cool at the same time. But here you see the environment in which the Tusk science officers work, and you've got, you know, a bubble helmet here. You've got like what appear to be pieces of robots and other officers. It is still dreary. I love how it's illuminated from above, but you know, there are all these dark corners where nefarious things can occur. And then from the ceiling, you have all these like robotic helpers, robotic arms, all that kind of stuff. So it's like working in a dungeon, right? Which is exact. And then you know, it's not a clean room because it's got dirt and grime and all that, and that just kind of captures the imagination. So nice job on that art, Nate. All right, that's it for the Tusk Science Officer. Is Lewis signing out.